Forget Mission Impossible. Trump versus Musk is a real summer blockbuster. The world's richest man versus the US president in 4D. This is no ordinary feud. This is a billionaire brawl with real-world stakes. Every insult can rattle investors. Every tweet can jolt the markets. And the timing? Impeccably terrible. The US dollar is showing signs of weakness. It has lost over 10% of its value in the last 6 months. This is the dollar's worst performance in more than 50 years. The last time this happened was in 1973. And to add insult to injury, other currencies are appreciating. The euro, for instance, has gained by over 12%. The Swiss franc is up by more than 13%. The Japanese yen, nearly 8%. Even gold is outperforming the US dollar. Gold has gained 25% this year. Plus, riskier currencies are doing better than the US dollar, like Ghana's CD, the Taiwanese dollar, and Mexico's peso. They've all registered double-digit gains. So there's a clear shift. Investors are moving away from the US dollar. They haven't dumped the American currency yet, but they're certainly diversifying. They're trying to lower the risk. And what is driving this sentiment? Experts blame US President Donald Trump, his mixed signals on economic policy, his constant back and forth on tariffs, and his relentless attacks on the US Federal Reserve and its chief, Jerome Powell. Trump has been challenging the Fed's autonomy ever since he took office. He wants to sack Jerome Powell and appoint a loyalist in his place. But Trump cannot do that. He cannot remove the chair of the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve chief has a fixed tenure of 4 years. A president cannot remove him. So Trump is doing the only thing that he can. He is attacking the Fed chief.
We have a moron at the head of the Fed. He's a moron.
Speaking of Jay Powell, do you have a top choice?
I do. I have 2 or 3 top choices, actually.
Such remarks have made investors jumpy, and all of this is hurting the dollar's reputation, pushing investors towards other assets like gold, the euro, the franc, and the yen. And this does not bode well for America. A weaker dollar could make imports expensive. It could stoke inflation. It could make US debt costlier. In fact, in the month of May, ratings agency Moody's downgraded America's debt. It reduced US credit rating from AAA to AA1. Now, AAA or AAA is the gold standard. Any debt rated AAA is considered a safe investment. The US had this status until 2 months back, but now they've lost it, and Moody's cited several reasons for this downgrade, like America's massive debt pile, almost $37 trillion in national debt. This is a loan that the US government has taken to meet its expenses, almost $37 trillion. Now look at the interest payments on these loans. The interest exceeds $950 billion. That's a lot of money going every year as interest. Obviously, this is a major concern. The other reason given for Moody's downgrade is this: tax cuts and political gridlock in Washington. So in simpler terms, the US is borrowing more, it is paying more interest, and it is failing to fix its revenues. For an investor, these are clear red flags. The depreciating dollar and the US government struggling to manage its books. This has eroded investor confidence in the US. Their borrowing costs could go up. And this has implications for everyone. This could lead to higher inflation. It could hurt not just American citizens, but the whole world. And I'll tell you why. The US dollar and the American government debt are pillars of global finance. More than 58% of the world's cash reserves are in the US dollar. 58%. These reserves are held by central banks, so a weaker dollar impacts all of them. And then we have the US government debt. More than 20% of US government bonds are held by foreigners, and a large number of these investors are governments, like Japan. In April, Japan held over $3 trillion in US government bonds. The United Kingdom came second with over $800 billion invested, and China ranked third with over $750 billion. So governments and central banks have parked large amounts of cash in the US dollar and in US debt. Today, they are both under strain. If Washington does not fix it, it will hurt the whole world. So Trump may like to shake things up and disrupt the status quo. His bold style may win him votes and followers, but for markets and the global economy, his erratic policy making poses major risks.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.